All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to KazooCast number 12. Tonight we have a lot to talk about tonight. So I think we're gonna just get started right away, and we're gonna introduce everyone who's on the cast tonight. So we have Kevintendo for the second time. We have James Clark, who is our recurring guest.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
He's definitely a regular. And then we have a new one, AndresRestart. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. We're very glad that you're here. So, what has everyone been playing for the last week or so? Kevin, why don't you start?
Well, I bought Yoshi's Crafted World, played through the first world of that, have been enjoying it, still keeping up my fitness boxing, staying in shape, and other than that, still on that Smash grind, trying to get better and better. So,
ooh, yes.
Yep,
ooh, yes.
Yep. Currently maining Samus, so.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yes, yes.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Random, but how do you feel about Samus versus Dark Samus?
Ooh, I don't feel a difference between them. Although the really hardcore people, they're like, oh no, well, Dark Samus is floatier and Samus is not, and Dark Samus has this grapple, and my thing is like they're different colors. One's cooler than the other. I think Dark Samus is the cooler one because we're talking about edginess and stuff. But
so edgy.
They're interchangeable for me. If I flipped a coin and picked one, it would be the same. Good question though.
That's funny.
I think I'm pretty much have the same mindset as you, but there's just one thing. If for whatever reason when I play as Dark Samus, and I pray, when you do I think it's the neutral air, right?
Oh.
When you do a quick hop and you just press air and it does
and it's like a kick.
I was thinking of the forward, maybe it's a forward air that I'm confusing.
Oh, the flame.
Yeah, the flame attack.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, just because the flame is blue on Dark Samus, I like it more.
Yeah.
That's just
Good
kind of
call.
what has me with it, and it really, I think it comes down to just the aesthetic of Dark Samus.
That's fair. That's fair.
They do feel. I mean, they're echoes. So.
Yep. That's totally fair.
You right. How about you, James? What have you been up to this week?
I just picked up Yoshi's Crafted World,
Nice.
and I'm live streaming that on the channel. Still working on Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Just started live streaming Final Fantasy VII on the channel, so that's another game we're working on.
That's nice.
I'm gonna be starting World of Light in Super Smash Brothers. Gonna finally get started with that. I have been putting that off for a long time, and I'm gonna try it out. And
Right. Good.
I have been good about not spoiling anything, so I haven't looked up any World of Light strats or spoilers or anything. So yeah, just FYI.
Yeah.
No spoilers, please.
That's awesome.
How long it is?
Oh wow.
It's gonna take you a minute.
Oh god.
I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
I haven't either. I'm over 50%, but
I'm not very close.
yeah, I've definitely put a lot more time into just like the multiplayer modes and classic mode. Like I really enjoyed that. That's one of the things about Smash Ultimate that makes me really happy about it. They actually brought back classic mode, and I love it for that. Like
It's great.
I'm looking forward to some of the DLC characters, not only for the DLC characters, but for potential new bosses as well, to play them in classic mode. Like that for me has been kind of like the focus when it comes to single player in Smash so far. I've really had a good time with it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That's cool. What about you, Andre? What have you been playing this week?
That's a good question. Well, I've been telling myself to finish Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch. I haven't done it yet. I'm pretty far. I think I had just discovered in Dark Souls, I don't remember the names of any of the areas, but I've already talked to the giant snake god dude that lives in the church. And I went to the skeleton area and I found the skeleton blacksmith. So I'm there and I already spoke to the giant goddess angel, so I have to go and collect kill 3 souls around the land. So the game basically just opened up entirely for me, and I thought it was almost halfway done or something. So not quite.
Oh.
So besides debating playing more of that game, I've just kind of been trying to get more wins in Tetris 99. I got my first win this weekend.
Oh, have you have you
That was
seen Kevintendo's video on that?
I have not seen. In fact, actually, I just discovered Kevintendo right now on this
Oh,
pod.
that's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's some tips. I got some tips. They might help too. They might help.
Oh, I hope so. I have to check it
Nice.
out. Yeah,
Nice.
I did subscribe when I was like, oh, okay, so there's this
Oh,
guy, this
thanks.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we got each other's back. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Heck
thank you.
yeah,
Thank
heck
you.
Yeah, funny story. I don't even remember when I subscribed to Andre. I just saw you in my subscriptions one time that you were live, and I was like, oh hey, let's go to that stream.
Yeah. That's kind of
Nice.
funny how that worked out. I vaguely remember you at some point in the past, like, oh yeah, you know, like I have definitely like had seen you around before, you know, but there's just like so many people. It's
Oh,
so
I
many
know it. I know. There's so
Yeah.
many people trying to stream and do YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So, oh wait, I guess I should say what I've been playing.
Yeah, what you been playing?
Maybe. Yeah. It could work.
Probably shouldn't forget that. Well, I've been streaming a lot of Splatoon lately. I'm like,
Oh,
I love Splatoon, guys.
that's good.
I literally love it. So, that's fun. And, been streaming. What else have I been streaming? That's pretty much, oh, I've been trying to pick up Breath of the Wild again and try to, like, kind of do some more in Master Mode. And I finally beat my first Divine Beast, finally, in, Master
Alright.
Mode. So,
It's
I was
super
so
hard
proud
in
of
Master
myself.
Mode. GG.
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, so I'm in the beginning of Master Mode myself. I started replaying it recently as well. I think it was because of the 2-year anniversary. I was like, you know what? Everyone's talking about Zelda. I need to get back into Zelda. But
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't just blow through it in one go because I know you had this like as a planned topic. I'm just saying, like when they announced the Labo VR support, I was like, oh well, now I'm gonna wait for the 25th to play through Master Mode. in VR
Yes.
mode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I might be waiting a little bit too to play more of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because-
It'll be interesting to see how it works.
I
I mean,
no
it's supposed to be
idea.
the whole game, right?
That's how they
Yes.
made it seem,
Seems like it, yeah.
Uh-huh.
which is
It's-
kind of. I
Mind blowing.
have to get my hands on it. Yeah, it's mind blowing. My thoughts exactly. It's weird just because VR is supposed to be like very demanding for systems, and I've played VR on the PS4, which is significantly more powerful than the Switch,
Oh yeah.
and the games kind of look pretty bad. Like they look
Oh.
noticeably worse, in my opinion, right, than what their normal versions look like the resolution, things like that. So
Yeah.
looking at the
Interesting.
trailer, though, the games seem
The trailer does look pretty good.
they look fine.
Yes. Now, one thing I'll say about that is, it did say in the trailer that it was, captured for, 2D output or whatever.
Oh.
So it was captured in a different way, captured for non-VR,
Right.
systems. So
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
that, that's one of our topics tonight anyway. So maybe we should just start with that. I
Just
don't know.
dive right
Yeah,
in.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
there we go.
I don't know
I'm
if we should
sorry
start
for
with
throwing
that or
everything
save it
out of
for the
order.
end.
Don't be-
No, it's great. It's great. I love
Discussion.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so as you guys know, we'll just use that as a little segue. As I'm sure everyone knows by now, the Labo VR has just been announced last night to be compatible with Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, which is super epic. Mario Odyssey is like a mini game type thing. But Breath of the Wild, you can play through the whole game in VR.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
it is pretty insane. So, what I'm a little confused about is like, how is it gonna work with like, with the headset? Like, do you just have to hold it up to your head for like? This is
I
a
think
hundreds
it's
of hours
basically
game.
literally how I'm about to hold it. I think
Yep.
you're basically gonna play it like this.
Yeah.
Pretty much how you're gonna
Right.
play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
No.
might be weird.
Exactly.
That'd be kind
Yeah.
of weird.
Yeah. Well, people were already talking about online how they were going to try and figure out a way to where they can punch holes into the headset and tie a
put
band
straps
around it and put it on their head.
Oh man.
Well,
And,
I'm actually wondering if they're gonna have like a separate like strap accessory or something for it.
I guarantee you there's going to be at least 1 or 2 third parties just go on Amazon or eBay that are going to get like, Labo VR
Oh yeah.
headset strap on. Like maybe Nintendo won't do it, but third parties will. I mean, just look at all the third party docks and options for the Switch already.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're right.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to capitalize on this. I mean, people are in it to make the money. They're going to see,
Oh, yeah.
hey, there's a demand in this
Yeah,
market
they're
for
gonna
it.
say
Let's make
they're
something
gonna
for
see
it.
there's a need.
And people are going to buy
need
it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just going to assume that you'll be able to use another controller, right? You won't have to use
You, hold it.
Joy-Con,
Oh.
right?
I can't
I
imagine
feel like you just don't mess with the controls in VR mode. That'd be hilarious, though, if that's your only choice.
Yeah.
What?
That would be.
What would be
Yeah.
I mean,
hilarious?
you only use the Joy-Cons right here. Like, if
Yeah.
you take them off or if you use a Pro Controller, if it doesn't work, that would be weird.
I love to have choices, and I hope that is not a permanent thing that they're showing in the trailer.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Just detach the controllers.
Yeah. Well, there's also enough motion in the Joy-Cons to where they can eventually do some stuff like the PS Move.
Like they do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the one thing that now that I'm just kind of thinking about it, I think maybe the Joy-Cons might need to stay onto the Switch because those are the things with motion controls. It's the only way we can track the emotion.
Oh, that is a good point actually.
Right.
That's
An extra controller.
Right. Maybe we can still use
the Pro controller's got a gyro.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
the Pro controller. Yeah, it's got a gyro. You could use it in Splatoon too.
Oh,
the gyro function.
That's true.
Right, well, what I'm saying is that because it's on your head, right? The way they're making it
That's the only
work
way
like
to
a
track
VR
it.
device is
They
that
know where you're looking.
Right.
Yeah, that
Oh,
could be the
okay.
only way to track it.
Yeah. That makes
Um,
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah,
But
that's
like I
true.
said,
That's a
I
good
think there's
point,
still hope
actually.
that we
It's a
could
really
use it
good
for-
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I also think it was like a very smart marketing and I guess initiative or practice or whatever you want to call it to include Mario and Zelda in this because
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
I'm buying it. I wasn't gonna buy it before. I'm
Same.
buying it now.
Exactly. I would not have been hyped for it at all. Really. I mean, I would have been hyped for it just because it's VR and like I work with VR. So it's really interesting to me.
You're telling me the elephant didn't sell you right away?
No, actually, the elephant was really interesting to me because I saw that you can actually like draw things. It's like a drawing program.
Yeah.
The elephant. And that's like I just worked an event with some art students and they had like they were gonna 3D like paint, like draw, sculpt, whatever in VR and then 3D print their stuff.
Oh, very
So,
cool. Very
yeah.
cool.
So it actually really is. So that the elephant, like, you know, now that you mentioned it, actually was pretty interesting to me.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's interesting. Like, the thing is, apparently you can buy like just the headset part of the Labo kit for like $40.
yeah,
Right?
Okay.
But because of all the other
You can
stuff,
buy it for $40 right now. Pre-order it on Amazon right now. It's actually one of their best sellers right now on
Yeah.
Amazon.
and that's how you know that they were. I mean, I guess this is kind of obvious, but that they were thinking about this from the beginning.
True.
But I guess that's kind of obvious that they would be.
everything about Labo and the Joy-Cons and the way the Switch is just so flexible with everything it does. It's mind-blowing. The first time I saw Labo, I was like, oh my god. this is the most brilliant thing ever. To me, it's just incredible, like how forward-thinking Nintendo was with the Switch design, how it can work in so many different ways. It always kind of freaks me out.
They're already introducing it in local schools.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Are they? They're already doing that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Very smart.
I didn't know that they had already started doing that.
Yeah. There's an education initiative, you know, and people are using it to teach kids.
Good.
Yeah, I would definitely
very
have
hands-on.
expected that because it's very like very much like teaching kids like engineering and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Yes, you know what? That is true. Labo is the Nintendo equivalent of Lego. You know what? That's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
Realm by realm.
Yeah, Real Mucker. Yeah.
One thing I want to bring up that I just remembered. I'm pretty sure at least that Labo VR is probably like the cheapest like VR solution out there. Right? Like,
yeah,
it is.
Definitely. What about Google Cardboard? Is Google Cardboard cheaper?
Yeah, they still have that. I mean, you could probably buy different type of headsets for that now.
Yeah, I have something that's like it, and this was like $10, I think.
how much was your phone?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But how much is the
Andre's
Twitch
got a good
if we're going that way?
Yeah. Andre's got a good point. It's definitely more affordable compared to what you know. I mean, you have to get the smart. Yeah. And then with the smartphone, what are you spending? $500 for VR capable smartphones at least.
That's true. That's true.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, my phone I don't even think is VR capable, and I think this technically is like what $600-700.
Yeah.
For monthly, like I wouldn't.
No, if every phone is VR capable, if you have YouTube in it, I'm pretty certain.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. No. You're right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really, it is really a very interesting topic. I also, I could really see this making VR like take off more than it has at this point. So we all hear people saying, right, about how VR is not like really at the point where it's become mainstream, probably because of the high cost of entry and everything. Because like you know, you got the PS VR, which is how much you have to spend on that, like $500 at least. And yeah, like you guys were saying, it's like a pretty cheap solution. So I could see it making VR take off more than it has already.
Yeah, no, I think it's VR's best chance at becoming more mainstream at this point. I mean, Google Cardboard is a big deal too, right? Because almost everyone at least does have a phone. So, you know, between those different things, like I can see VR. It's getting closer. We're getting closer, which is it's interesting to see.
It is really interesting to see, and another thing like that makes it so that it, you know, it could become more mainstream possibly is that it's now using Nintendo's flagship title. So like I said before, that's like a very smart marketing thing. So, and yeah, we touched on the controls, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, how the controls will work, like no head strap. So that's kind of.
I admit I'm more interested to see how Breath of the Wild plays with the VR than the Super Mario Odyssey VR mode. I mean, you know, I'm still going to try the Super Mario Odyssey VR, but it doesn't look like they're really offering a bigger experience like Breath of the Wild is.
Yeah, definitely. Like Breath of the Wild, you can play through the whole game in VR.
Yeah.
But with Mario Odyssey, they just have
some challenges.
Have, like, they described it as like bite-sized things.
Yeah.
So.
And in the trailer, they put in fine print at the bottom of the screen. You do not have to start a new file to play Breath of the Wild in VR.
Yes.
Mode. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So there's
good.
there's that little bit of information, and they put that in the trailers, so that's good news.
Mm-hmm.
I really just want to see how the resolution is going to be.
Yeah.
I want to know if it's going to
That's
be a
true.
blurry mess when I put my eyes right in front of that screen. I don't know, because the Switch, the actual gamepad is just what, like, it's technically not a gamepad, but the tablet, like, it's what, it's 720p.
Yeah, it's only
30
Yeah.
frames per second. Yeah, Breath of the Wild plays at 30 frames per second.
Does it really?
Mhm.
Yep.
Does it really?
Yeah,
Dang.
usually.
Uh,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if you don't get screen
Don't go
stutter.
to the Korok Woods.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, true. Frame rate
Um,
takes a dip in the Korok
Yeah,
forest.
so I'm kind of just interested just to see how the game's going to look and run.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, obviously this is like the first model of the Switch, right? Like, of
Yeah.
course, we're probably going to
Revisions
talk
come
about the
in.
revisions later, but like
Yeah.
5 years down the road, I imagine there's going to be the next generation of Switch, which is going to be a lot more powerful, much better screen. I imagine mobile technology is going to get better and better to the point where, you know, an open world experience like Breath of the Wild, but obviously more modernized, would be possible in VR without killing your battery. We're not there yet, but
Yeah.
it's just going to be interesting to see how far away we are with the Switch and how it plays and runs Breath of the Wild in VR.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I also think it's interesting how now the Breath of the Wild, when you go to play it, right, it's not going to be first person like most typical VR experiences, and I think that Nintendo did this on purpose to try to kind of address some of the problems that VR has, or to kind of avoid the problems that they have, like dizziness, like motion sickness, vertigo, because, and probably most of the reason is that it is targeted much more to kids, and so that is probably something that was very important to do.
Yeah,
No,
good point.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, like, I remember, you know, with the Nintendo 3DS, right, you had the 3D effect, and at first we were like, oh my god, this is, like, incredible. But then everyone realized, maybe not. And then there were a lot of kids who were having issues because some doctors were saying they could maybe ruin, like, the eyesight for younger children. So Nintendo was like, okay, well, we came out with a 2DS, and, you know, there is a lot of, like, little... So I imagine Nintendo would be a lot more conscientious of these little gimmicks and technologies now, especially when they are gearing it towards kids. So it's an interesting point you bring up, how Nintendo might be more conscientious of that. In fact, I heard that one of the things that they're trying to do to help sort of make it easier to not get dizzy is that a lot of the little VR technologies that they're using with Labo, like, a lot of it's very interactive, and it helps kind of keep you still, like, with the outside world. Like, there's, like, that frog game where you press a fan and it's blowing air at you, right? So it gives you this sense of tangibility outside of the screen, which is kind of an interesting take. And, you know, Nintendo's always kind of... I love when Nintendo just goes into these, like, technologies, because you always see them come at it from a different angle that no one thought of before. It's cool to see.
Yeah. Definitely. Did y'all end up buying the new 3DS where, you know, it would adjust with your eyes as opposed to the regular 3DS?
Yeah,
I have two of them.
Nice.
I still feel like it didn't make it good enough.
What'd you say?
The new 3DS, like, even with that face tracking technology, I still feel like it wasn't good enough for me to find it comfortable. Personally, I still had the ghosting issue where when I would play any game in 3D, I would still see it, like, again, slightly to the left or to the right. It kind of bothered me.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting for me specifically, because I obviously can't see out of both of my eyes at the same time. So I actually can't see 3D, which kind of brings me to my next point, which is will Breath of the Wild, like, will it be like the hybrid 2D style, or will it be like full 3D? Like, so you have the monoscopic images, which showing the same image to both eyes. You know, of course, mono meaning one. So it shows the same image to both eyes, and then you have stereoscopic, which shows two slightly different images to each eye, and so it makes it look 3D that way. So
and none of those words were mentioned during that trailer, by the way.
No.
So we don't know. We're left to wonder
Speculate.
about that. Yes.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Well, see, and my big thought is that, so you know how on PSVR or Oculus you can get two visuals at once, right? Because you can see what the person's seeing. Obviously, they're seeing something, and then I don't know, on the big TV you see a similar version, and it's that complete scene. But with the Switch, you can't do that, right? It can't send the signal out.
Yes, it's wireless, so it's not connected.
Yeah, and so maybe that's why they had that disclaimer in the trailer itself, is because you can probably play the game docked, but you're not experiencing it in the same way. So maybe when it's docked, you still do the VR experience, but you're doing it as someone else might see it. Whereas when you're have the goggles on, maybe that's where it sends it out. I don't know. Maybe.
I want to say that VR won't be possible in docked mode, at least with the Labo set.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
I don't know, but I feel like it would recognize that.
Yeah.
But going back to your point about the stereoscopic and monoscopic kazoo, I don't know. I don't know any of these. These are just my guesses, right? But like, I want to guess that it would be maybe monoscopic, I guess, because that might make it more feasible for the Switch. Because
that's what I would think. Yeah, I think it's gonna be monoscopic.
Yeah,
I have to agree with Andre on that. You know, it's less demanding on it. I mean, the frame rate on the Breath of the Wild game is 30 frames per second. You know, you're already limited to a 720p resolution when you're using the Switch screen. So I think it's more feasible. So I have to agree with Andre on that. It's going to be monoscopic.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but what kind of differences does that create? Like, what experience do we get from stereoscopic that we can't quite get with monoscopic? Is it just like depth perception?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's just depth perception. Like I said, I don't really know because I right now can't see 3D because my eyes don't work together. So.
But there's still like the head tracking, right? So you still have the ability, even with the monoscopic, to kind of like look around the world a lot more freely than you'd be able to otherwise, right?
Well, I mean, with a stick, you can still look around the world.
Yeah.
The camera.
Yeah, so that's a good point too. So maybe it'll take that. Maybe it'll take that with the stick and with the gyro and just kind of convert it to like that's. Because that's what Andre was saying earlier. That like that's why we will most likely need the Joy-Cons to stay attached to the Switch.
Yeah.
Because of that head tracking.
That makes sense.
I want to see how they're gonna make this work. Like that. It's maybe I'm just gonna put down $80 just because I want to see how it's gonna work. Because I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, and I'm just curious how they're gonna put this all together.
Yeah. I played it safe. I pre-ordered the $40 version because I didn't want to. Buy the rest of the Labo kit because honestly, I don't think I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
Just for the focus on the F3.
Yeah.
I mean, to that point, I got the original Labo kit, and they're just all in my closet. Like, I used them the one time, played around with the little tech demo, and that's it. That's all I did for that. I really enjoyed building them, though. I had fun with that. And the same thing may happen again when I get the $80 version. But I saw that elephant thing. The elephant thing's cool because you can draw a lot of stuff. So I might see myself using that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I guess just because of the Mario and Zelda thing, I'm willing to take that leap of faith this time again because, if I'm gonna spend 40, I might as well try out all the other little things that come with it. So I'm gonna go for the 80.
Yeah.
Just because I'm just really interested to see how it's all gonna work, and I do like building them, but I probably will spend 15 minutes on each game and never use it again. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good call.
Yeah, I mean, that, yeah, I'm probably not gonna get the $80 one just because, like you said, I would probably do that same thing where I just would play it for 15 minutes. I wouldn't use it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really interested to see how the Breath of the Wild VR works.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that was a lot of what we were going to talk about today.
Yeah, we covered a lot of bases there.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
So we also have, I know you guys were kind of talking about this earlier, Andre and James. So there are rumors of a 2 new Switch revisions. So we were thinking, a lot of people were thinking about there would just be one, like the Switch Mini, like that was going to be the one that came out. But now there's been some new information from the Wall Street Journal, who has I guess inside sources, and also from Eurogamer, who also claims to have inside sources, that there will be 2 Switch systems releasing as early as this summer.
Crazy.
Which is super crazy, because that's just like 3-4 months away. To think that we might have a Nintendo, 1 or 2 new Nintendo systems announced at E3, and then like,
which is 2 months away.
Couple weeks,
Yes,
or
it
a couple
is.
months later, like we like have them. So
Yeah.
my question for you guys is, do you believe the rumors that there will be a Switch Pro or a Switch Mini or both?
99.9% yes.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Dang.
Yeah. Let me explain why though. So it's not just because I want it to happen. It's because one, as you noted, right, these reports have kind of been coming out for a while already, right?
Yeah.
Like early last year we got it from the Wall Street Journal, but then we also got a report from Nikkei, right? And even more recently we've gotten another report from the Wall Street Journal talking about 2, and then that was corroborated by Eurogamer. Here's the interesting thing. Nikkei is a reputable publication from Japan, right?
Yeah.
Eurogamer is a reputable publication from Europe,
Yeah.
and Wall Street Journal is a reputable publication from the States. So these are like 3 different like major markets that all have like connected like information from what's going on, like, under wraps. They have a better understanding of what's going on with the manufacturing industry. So
True.
because of this, like, I think if it was just coming from 1, I'd be like, okay, this is fairly likely. But because it's coming from 3, I just think like this is like
all but confirmed, right?
All but confirmed. And on top of that, when you look at like Nintendo and you look at what they're doing with their games this year, look at the February Nintendo Direct, right? We got Link's Awakening, we got Mario Maker 2, we know Animal Crossing's coming out this year, we know Pokemon Sword and Shield are coming out this year. All of these games are very like handheld kind of Nintendo games, right? But they're all on the Switch.
Yes.
It's kind of like begging for the Switch Mini. Like, we need that portable replacement. There are no more published Nintendo games being announced for the 3DS. We only have 3 coming out this year, right? That's astronomically low. It's been trending down year and year and year. It doesn't look like we're going to get any more 3DS games from Nintendo. So they need to replace it. So it makes sense for there to be a Switch Mini, even without all the reports. I would have said that was happening regardless.
Yeah.
Now, for the Pro, I wouldn't have expected it this year, but I also acknowledge that there's been a demand for it, right? You look at games like Doom and Wolfenstein 2, like, it's great that they're on the system, but it's obvious that they're kind of lacking graphically a little bit. Like, they're kind of blurry. There is room for a more pro-like Switch that can run these games a little bit better. So I'm not shocked.
Definitely true. Yeah.
But I just thought it would be next year for that. But I'm not complaining. I'll take both this year, you know. So yeah, for all those reasons, I think I'm really confident that it's happening.
I mean, and also you got Pokemon and Animal Crossing coming out, which have recently been typically handheld games. I mean, Pokemon always, but Animal Crossing is recently probably more handheld franchise. So you have that. So it would make sense for them to market it the way in that way, market it to audience more suited for the Switch Mini, and so the Switch Mini could definitely be a thing, basically.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of parents are gonna want to ditch out their money on a console that's probably a little more affordable. You know,
exactly.
The 3DS
and more sturdy.
Yeah, the 3DS or the 2DS, you know, they were more affordable. I mean, the original 2DS was what, $79.99. That's what it retails for now, and then the new 2DS XL retails for $159.99. So if you try to sell them the Nintendo Switch, you know, so they could play the latest Pokemon game or the latest Animal Crossing game, no parent is going to want to spend $300 on a brand new Nintendo Switch. But if you make a Switch Mini, take out some of those expensive features like the HD Rumble or, you know, any of those other features, you know, bring the price point down, make the Switch smaller. You know, maybe you could bring that price point down and make it more marketable towards those parents who are trying to buy their kid that new Switch so that they can play that new Pokemon game that they love or that new Animal Crossing game. And you know what? They'll be able to play all the other Switch games on it as well. You know, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8. You know, I don't see Nintendo making it to where it's limited to where, oh, you can only play certain games. I really don't see Nintendo doing that. I see them making a smaller, more affordable system, and then you have this whole library of Switch games already available for you know, parents to buy their kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, guys. And, you know, just looking at the last generation, right, the 2DS, and I thought at the time, like, why would anyone want a 2DS that doesn't open and that it doesn't have the 3D? You know, why would anyone want that? You know,
yeah, I thought that too.
Right? And then one of my little cousins, he saw the commercial. I saw him. I was with him when he saw the commercial, and he's like, "Oh, it doesn't fold, so you can have it open all the time." Like, he thought it was really cool, and he asked for it for Christmas. He's like, "I hate when I have to fold it." Like, what? That's so weird. So little
That's
kids
so
will think,
funny.
Yeah, right. Like, and I'm like, okay, I'm not the target market for the 2DS that doesn't fold.
Yeah.
But maybe they, you know, they'll figure out how to make it cool, and I think it's cool enough. Even the Switch Mini and Switch XL, and definitely, like Andre was saying, some of the games that, especially on the last Direct, did you notice that some of not the indie one, but the one before that, some of the games look like poop, like Dead by Daylight. It did not look pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. It looked like PS2 and 3 graphics, and I'm like,
it was pretty fugly. Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Senua's Sacrifice though looks really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're telling me nobody's going to be live streaming Dead by Daylight for their Nintendo Switch?
That ain't gonna be me.
That game is way too gory for me. I cannot watch that. I cannot. I would not be able to play that.
Graphic.
Let me ask you guys a question, right? So, like, I remember when the first reports were coming out about the Switch Mini and Pro. I like calling them Switch Plus and Minus, by the way. That's just my own.
Oh, nice! I love it. That's
I just
awesome.
feel like the theming makes sense because you got the plus and the minus with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
They may not go for that naming because the whole Switch Minus kind of suggests lesser, but they did have the 2DS. But you know, that's neither here nor there. When the rumors are first coming out, like these are just rumors. These aren't corroborated by any of the publications, right? Like this is just a rumor. But there was a rumor suggesting that the Switch Mini or Minus would kind of look like a 3DS, like it would open up like a 3DS, like a clamshell design.
Open, really?
There would only be one screen, but it would be on the top and the buttons would be on the bottom. But you could fit a bigger screen by doing that, right? So you wouldn't have to have the buttons on the side. And if it's the right size, you could still fit into the dock when it's closed. And
you mean like a
Yes.
Game Boy?
Yeah,
Exactly
that's
like
exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, good one.
exactly like that, but you know, a Switch.
Nice.
Like, how would you guys feel if they did that?
Interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I would like that. That would make it more portable,
more durable too. The screen probably wouldn't scratch.
Oh yeah, fit it in your pocket. Take it where you want to go. Because honestly, the Switch that I have right now, it doesn't leave my house. I can't imagine taking that on the go without putting it in like some sort of protective case or a backpack. I can't fit that in my pocket. But if they came out with something smaller that I can fit in my pocket, oh heck yeah, man, that'd be the way to go.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would prefer that. I don't know if that's what we're gonna do. It's just kind of a rumor that I would.
But I think that would be great.
Yeah,
that's an awesome idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another interesting thing though, right? Because we have our normal Switches, right? Let's say we get the Switch Mini and we start doing that, where we start wanting to take the smaller Switch elsewhere because it's more durable, more portable. Would there be a way to keep the game that you're playing on the Switch Mini, like let's say I have my normal Switch dock, but I want to be able to take the same game with me, right? I don't want to have to have it on two different devices. Like,
well, they have cloud save. I mean, that's the only thing that I could think of.
I guess if it's a digital game, maybe they would allow you to have it on both systems with the cloud save. If it's like that, will work. If it's with cartridges, well, there's not really much you can do with that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
there's no battery backup on the cartridges themselves. Everything's saved on the Switch memory.
Well, I guess if it's still on the cloud save, you could just take out the cartridge and put it in, and it could still work.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's doable. I think you may have to make sure reconnect to the internet really quickly with your portable DS before you transition over. It wouldn't be just like take out and go, but I think it. I don't know if Nintendo. Do you think Nintendo would want to do that? Because they're always really it's one system, and then if you're gonna transfer everything over, you can't transfer back. Remember when
upgrade.
Yeah, it was one way ticket.
Well, back in the day, when you had the Wii U and the 3DS family of systems, you would have one Nintendo account, and everything would be tied to that one Nintendo account. On both the Wii U
That's true.
and the Switch, and that required an update. On Nintendo's side of things, software updates to the OS on the Wii U and software updates to the OS on the Nintendo 3DS. Oh, I'm sorry, 3DS family of systems. So, I mean, if you do a Switch Mini in the same form and fashion as you would compare to the Wii U and the Switch or 3DS, I guess you could maybe do that because your data from the cloud save, you could transfer it over. I don't know. I mean, it's not impossible. Yeah, it's not impossible.
It just
can
would
be
Nintendo
done.
do it? Will Nintendo make it comfortable for us to do it, or we're like, nah, don't, no. I feel like Nintendo can be kind of fickle with those things. So
we've seen this in the past. We've seen this with their online, with their, I don't know, everything. It's not the most conducive to being easy. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not. No.
Oh, running servers and I mean, Miiverse was Nintendo's version of social media, and that quickly died off as quickly as it came, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is kind of sad that Miiverse died the way it did.
But I at least appreciate that you can now share, you know, at least small clips and photos to Facebook and Twitter pretty easily.
That's true. That is true.
That's probably why they didn't care too much about losing Miiverse, because there's real social media
Yeah,
now.
real social media already exists. So
Yeah.
You
can't compete with the Titans, Facebook, Twitter.
No,
you know they pretty much own the social media scape.
Totally.
Yeah, but what I did love about Miiverse though, was what they did with Wind Waker HD. You guys remember that? Where
That
they had
is
the
so
Bangles
cool.
model,
The
It was
bottles.
Yeah, that was
I
a
missed
really
out on
cool
that.
thing.
I completely missed out on that. I had to go back and watch YouTube videos featuring that
Oh,
because I never
really?
experienced it.
Yeah.
Never experienced it. I was like, that is pretty rad, and I missed out on that.
What if they do port Wind Waker HD to the Switch? There'd be no more Miiverse. But what if instead they make it like Twitter? Like so now people are sending like Tingle bottles with Twitter. Like that'd
be
oh my gosh.
They could
That
use
would
like hashtags or something like do hashtag Tingle bottle or whatever to
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I oh man, I kind of really want to see it now. Like, oh, let it happen.
Yeah. Get Nintendo on the phone. Tell them your ideas.
Yes.
Do it.
They probably already thought of it. They probably already made all these games. It's just all waiting. We'll wait till a dark, rainy day, and here you go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. True.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Now so yes, okay, I remembered something I wanted to say. So Andre, I remember you were saying earlier about how the stories kind of like corroborated each other between like Eurogamer
Eurogamer backed up Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, Nikkei and Wall Street Journal. But what I always wonder with these kind of things is like, is it corroborating or is it just like you know, like say Nikkei reports it and then like Wall Street Journal says, oh yes, we also have these secret sources as well. We have the same one. We have a different ones.
It's an interesting thing. And obviously I'm an outsider, so I don't know, but it comes down to the credibility of the publication, right? And I would say that most people would trust what's coming from the Wall Street Journal. They would trust what's coming from Nikkei, right? I don't think, well, there maybe some people dispute with like what Eurogamer sometimes post because they tend to make reports of things that aren't announced yet, right? And sometimes that bites them in the butt because when you're talking about something that hasn't been announced yet, it's not that they're lying. It's just that because it's not announced yet, there's a reason for that. It's in development, plans are still happening, it's fluid, sometimes things are canceled. That's why I think Emily Rogers got a lot of flack from Mother 3. It wasn't that she was wrong. It's just that there were plans and they fell through.
That's true. That's a good point.
So I trust these publications, but I think it is important to note that these, until it's actually confirmed by Nintendo, you never really know what's going to happen because plans change. But I do think plans are real.
True. That's very true. Plans change.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Well, there's so many ways that you know, people can get intel and sources or from sources. I mean, you know, you have chip manufacturers, display manufacturers, you know, all the different manufacturers that are involved in providing parts and pieces that, you know, are used to, you know, create these consoles, you know, whether it be a Switch Mini or a Switch Pro. And, you know, there are people that actually watch those kinds of markets. So, and then going back to what you said about Wall Street Journal, Nikkei, Eurogamer, all these reputable news sources, they take a big risk in, you know, putting out this information, and they have to be very, very sure
That is true, yeah.
It's
You
their
know,
credibility on the
before they,
line.
yeah, because the next thing they hear is, oh, okay, they're not really releasing this, they're releasing this, and then the Wall Street Journal now has to put out an apology letter, and no publication wants to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Definitely.
So I'm thinking we're hearing some good news. I think we're going to be getting some good announcements later this year in regards to some Switch, some new Switch handhelds.
Okay.
And I think we're going to be all right.
Right, I agree. I think so. For example, I don't think the Wall Street Journal, the moment they got this information, oh guys, let's rush to the computer and report it. They probably waited a while until they knew for sure that they could report this, that it was actually happening. They probably been sitting on this for a while. In fact, we do know they've been sitting on it for a while because there was a report months ago about this before it was even 2 revisions. At one point, they were just talking about 1. Now they're specifying it as 2. So they take their time with this because, as you said, James, their credibility is really important.
Yeah. Nintendo, and to touch up on what you said, I mean, there's a lot of really, really powerful games that are coming out. Nintendo not coming out with a system to address that, it kind of puts developers in a position where they're limited. It's like, look, we want to put our game on your system, but it's just not powerful enough, and we're not going to waste our time, using your development kit because we've got other consoles and they run great. They run at a frame rate that's desirable to our fans, to our players. We're not. And if Nintendo wants to, make their Switch more marketable to developers, they've got to come up with a solution. And the only way to do that is to come up with or create a pro version Switch.
Yes. I have to agree with that, but I also have to say that I feel like they I agree with you that that they need to do something to make their system more marketable to developers, and with all the more powerful games coming out, they might need to do that. But here's the thing, is that their current gen system is probably just not going to be as powerful as the current gen PS4, Xbox. So the developers, I guess I don't quite know how everything in game development works, but
well, you put in if you put in the right processor in the Switch, it's very possible that you can do that. The Tegra X1's done. They're not manufacturing Tegra X1s anymore.
Yes, that's true. And you know what I heard actually from I watched a video from Nintendo Prime. It was really good. I highly recommend his video on this because it makes a lot of sense. Like his whole main point was basically that because the Wii U was failing, Nintendo knew that they were going to have to cut the life cycle short. So they basically rushed the Switch to market. Like,
interesting.
Because he makes the point. You think about Nintendo systems, and they usually have a lot of quality behind them, and so that the Switch is not really not really the most high quality system. So
let me just take your point with this.
They are using yeah, exactly, Andre, exactly.
Mine does it too. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so you got that, and he basically argues that the Switch Pro is what the Switch was meant to be if it wouldn't have been rushed. Like, why else? Like, why was their online not ready for like 2 years, right? So, or like a year and a half.
Dead.
Like, maybe that is when the Switch was originally meant to release.
Sounds like I need to watch that video. That's actually a very interesting point.
It's a really good
it makes
video.
Sense.
I highly
it
recommend
makes sense.
The Wii U was dead.
Oh, yeah.
They needed
Yeah.
to replace that thing.
Yeah, they had
Nobody
to,
was
so
buying
they
them.
had to rush it to market.
I'll even go as far back as talking about Star Fox Zero. Who played Star Fox Zero?
Nope.
I haven't.
Well, did you?
I
guys
played
ever
it. I actually tried it. I actually played it.
I actually
Nice.
liked it, but it was also
liked it.
infuriating at the same time. It was a love-hate relationship.
It is an absolutely gorgeous video game. It looks great. It sounds great. The music is incredible. I love the fan service, but it plays horribly. Absolutely hate playing that game. It was not the rail shooter I was expecting. I just did not have fun playing it.
And was most of the problems with the gamepad use, the controls?
Yeah, the asymmetric gameplay.
They really
Yeah,
tried to shoehorn in that in there to prove that it was a good style of game.
Good concept. Yeah.
It wasn't.
Oh.
It's not.
Like,
no, it's not.
I wish
I
they could turn it off.
want to play it.
It would have been a fun game otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll even say that, and I think one of the reasons why the graphics, why I did like the art style for a lot of the levels, I think the graphics were obviously very lesser compared to, like, say, Xenoblade X or Breath of the Wild, for example.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that was because they were running the game twice. They were running on the gamepad and on the television to have two different perspectives. So that definitely made it put a big demand on the graphics. But I'll also say that if you look at the game and the amount of content there, very small budget. And the reason I even brought up Star Fox Zero is because I think a lot of games that were on the Wii U were very small budget. There's a lot of ports and remasters, not too many big, ground-up, open-world games. The only one besides Breath of the Wild was Xenoblade X, right? We didn't get too many big single-player games. I'll even say that 3D World, while it was a good game, a lot of people will agree with me that it felt very cookie-cutter. I think they cut a lot of corners with the Wii U because they knew it was a dead system, so they didn't have a lot of ground-up development games with full-on AAA budgets because they knew it was where it was headed. It was dead. Yeah. So they did their best to fill out the library to hold out into the Switch. So I'm just kind of agreeing with you. I don't know if it's true, but I feel like it's very likely that they rushed to Switch into the market because how bad the Wii U situation was.
They didn't have a choice. They had to do something. They were losing money. I mean, shoot, at the time, Iwata, he had to take a pay cut.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, in lieu of,
in lieu of laying off employees.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, and no CEO wants to do that, I'm sure. But, you know, I mean, you know, but he did it because, you know, he wanted to keep those people on board. So.
Yeah. It speaks a lot that he did that.
It does.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It does. Yeah. That was, I think that was obviously really good move on his part.
Iwata's a legend to me. I mean, he
Iwata,
did so many things.
Yes,
yeah.
Iwata is a legend. I agree.
I think what some people may not realize, I'm not saying you guys don't, but like a lot of the things that we're seeing now with the Switch and its success, a big part of that stemmed from the late plans that Iwata did, like even in the last few months of his life, right? Like setting up the plans for the NX, right? The whole agreement with Universal Studios, like all of these different things, mobile games, like all of that was Iwata started those initial plans.
Yeah.
We're seeing it all come to fruition now, right?
Yep.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
So I think we are kind of like, well, I'm not saying that the people who are in power now aren't doing a good job. They are, but it's just kind of nice to see that this is like this Switch is a big part of Iwata's legacy, in my opinion. And it's just
absolutely.
It my heart a little bit.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Iwata.
That's good.
Iwata, like you said, Iwata's a legend.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So, okay. Anybody have any more to say on that subject?
I know that you know it's gonna happen. I just know it's gonna happen.
Yep.
They've got a couple of games coming out later this year, and Nintendo really wants to make it as marketable to as many consumers as possible. So making a smaller Switch, a Switch Mini, just makes sense market wise.
It does, and they can get two markets, to two different groups.
There is one thing I want to bring up, because James, you were talking about how there is like this need and demand for a more powerful Switch, right? And we just went on this whole tangent about how, you know, Nintendo need to kind of rush the Switch in because of how bad the Wii U was, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, even though that may be the case, and the developers may want a more powerful Switch to put the games on the Switch, I have a hard time believing that this Switch Plus or Minus or Pro, whatever, is going to be having exclusive games. Like, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think while developers want a more powerful system so their games can be better realized, I think those games are still going to be running on the lesser or original Switch. I think that's too many people to kind of not like. There's already like 30 plus.
Definitely, absolutely. The install base is huge.
And I agree with you. And I agree with you on that. Yeah. You could play Doom Eternal on your original Nintendo Switch that you bought on day one.
Definitely,
it'll probably operate. Yeah, but it'll probably operate at a lower frame rate. But when you get it on the Switch Pro, oh man, it's going to look beautiful. It's going to run at the maximum, resolution. It'll have a higher it'll look great. So I'm not saying that it's like, oh hey, we're not gonna put it on this. It'll just frame it down. It won't look as it won't look as the developers had intended on the original Switch, but on the Switch Pro, kind of similar to what they did with the Xbox One. I mean, they released Project. Oh gosh, the name escapes me.
Scorpio or
yes, with or HDR plus and all that other good stuff, and it makes the the game look that much better. So something similar to that fashion.
And I don't think that's crazy to expect. I mean, right, we already have the Xbox One, we have the Xbox One S, we have the PS4 Pro, we have the PS4. Those are like different graphical settings on the same platform, basically, right?
Yeah.
Which we already have that too. There's docked mode and there's handheld mode. They are different settings.
That's a good point, actually.
Switch Pro will just be a third setting. There'll be Pro, there'll be original dock, and then there'll be handheld mode.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
What do you guys think about there were like very early rumors about the dock possibly like upscaling higher than 1080.
Well, we're getting into territory that I love to talk about.
Okay, Andre, let's go.
I don't think it's happening though because of the reports of the Switch Pro. But what I dream about is that patent that came out before we knew what the Switch was of the supplemental computing device, which would be a dock that makes your Switch more powerful. Maybe it comes with an additional graphics card. So instead of having a Switch Pro, when you buy a Switch Pro, you just buy a dock that adds additional computing power when the Switch is plugged in. I love the idea.
Cool. I love that idea too. I like that.
Yeah. But we have the reports of the Switch Pro coming, right? So
somebody please send me the link to that. I want to see that.
That's
the first I heard about that, man. That's cool.
I can probably pull it up for you. Give me a second.
Because my and this was just a theory, I was like, what if Nintendo, and this is obviously not the preferred option, and because nobody's going to want this because the Switch is it's a handheld device no matter what the how you look at it, but what if the Switch Pro is a standalone device with no screen? You just plug it into your TV and then you put the Switch game in there. And honestly, I hope that's not the route that Nintendo is going.
It's possible though.
Yeah, and because to me, the way they've presented Nintendo Switch to the world, it is a multi-purpose system. You can use it in a dock mode. You can pick it up, take it with you wherever you want. If your kid's using the TV watching SpongeBob, you take the Switch out of the dock and you play it right there.
And SpongeBob, your kid.
Exactly. And the kid wants to play Mario Odyssey, then there you go.
Dad's
gonna keep watching SpongeBob.
It's gotta stay portable. Can I share the screen of the patent that I'm talking about?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
for
All
it.
right,
go
just give me a
ahead.
second. All right, I think this will come up. Let me know if it comes up.
Oh yeah. Oh, it did.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at that.
Looks good. Looks good.
So this was
Ah.
around before we even knew what the Switch was, when it was just the NX rumor days, and basically, you know, it was kind of like what the Switch idea was a little bit, right? So you have the display, you have the game console, which would be the Switch, and then the supplemental computing device would be the dock. The only difference is that in this patent, it implies that this dock would add more power to the game console, right? It technically doesn't. The Switch just upscale, just, you know, overclocks because it's plugged into a power source, so it doesn't kill the battery.
Oh wow.
Right, so they had the patent for this technology already. The idea that there would be a second device with the game console that would give it more power. They didn't do it, but it was a patent, so they could pull it out of their war chest at some point if they wanted to go that route. But again, I'll just say I don't think they're doing it, even though I want them to do it because of the reports of the Switch Pro coming out already.
I got you.
Gotcha.
And man, I'd love it if they did it, because I would only have to spend $100 or $100.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that would definitely be a much more affordable option than having to buy a completely new console.
Yeah, for
It
current
would.
Switch owners, yeah.
But maybe that's why Nintendo won't do it, because they can make more money by having.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there you go, right? That's
All about the money.
kind of how it goes. They're
But it's so cool. One can dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Very
I
cool.
mean, if I
Thanks for
want to be the
sharing.
optimist, right? Yeah, no problem. I love talking about this. So it's
Yeah.
I should be thanking you guys for letting me talk about it.
Hey, good discussion.
Yeah. Just to be the optimist here, though, right? Let's say we get the Switch Pro, right? But the Switch Pro is not going to be a 4K system. That's not going to happen.
no.
But
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
maybe the Switch Pro brings the Switch more to like Xbox One-ish level, right? Like maybe closer to there. PS4, I would say, it'd be like the ceiling, like original PS4, but you know, in that range.
Okay.
But 4K gaming still wouldn't be a thing for Switch. However, what if we get the Switch Pro, right? We get the Switch Mini. So we have these 3 different Switches, and then a year or two down the road, maybe let's say around the time Metroid Prime 4 comes out, Nintendo comes out. They pull that patent out of their war chest, like, hey guys, guess what? 4K dock. Play Metroid Prime 4 in beautiful 4K.
Wow, Andre's
like,
Andre's got
being
this.
super optimistic though, they'll probably just be like, wait till next gen to play 4K.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But
Oh
it's
my
That'd be
gosh.
really
Like-
cool though.
at least
Yeah.
possible.
That would
So,
be
yeah.
that would really be something like
Mhm.
yeah, like Metroid Prime 4
It's
Yeah.
so cool.
in 4K. That would be
That'd be
pretty
so
crazy.
beautiful.
Another
Yeah.
no, you go.
Yeah, somebody at Retro Studios went to somebody at Nintendo's like, "Hey, by the way, hey, we were just playing around with some Metroid Prime assets, and this is what it looks like in 4K."
Oh,
And then they went over to the studio that was doing Metroid Prime 4 development. You're fired.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
Kind of how I
happened.
imagine it actually happening, though.
Yeah,
That's what
Um,
happened.
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about, though? It sounds like. Did you hear the same story I did?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Okay, so I think that's kind of how it happened, actually.
oh,
Yeah.
really?
Maybe not exact. Maybe not like.
Are
they
you
played-
for real?
Let me explain.
Wow.
So the senior editor of Game Informer, right, Imran Khan, you can see him on Twitter. When the news broke that Metroid Prime 4 was restarting development and Retro Studios was going to be in control of the development, Imran Khan came out and talked about how there were development struggles, right, and that Retro Studios approached Nintendo with a gameplay demo, and
Yes.
it wasn't. Nintendo did not decide to cancel development with the other studio. Not until Retro Studios
Okay.
approached Nintendo with a gameplay demo of what they thought Metroid Prime could be like.
Wow.
So, 2 implications here. One, and this is me, the fanboy, kind of seeing it from the good side of things, right? The demo was so impressive that Nintendo's like, hey, we got to start over, because what's going on here is what will be the Breath of the Wild for Metroid, or something, like the
Yeah,
Game of the
the
Year contender kind of,
revitalization of the franchise, huh?
because
There
that's
you
what they
go.
want to do. That's why they had a dedicated video announcing the delay. Think about that for a second. The only other game that Nintendo had a dedicated YouTube video released to the public to announce bad news was Breath of the Wild when it was delayed.
Mhm.
They also did it for Metroid Prime. I think that goes to
Yeah.
show you
Oh
how
my
much they care about
gosh.
Metroid Prime, because they want to be a Game of the Year contender. They want to be comparable to the original Metroid Prime.
Oh.
So the other point I wanted to bring up is that if Retro Studios approached Nintendo with a gameplay demo to take over the development for Metroid Prime 4, I think that also implies that they didn't cancel their game; they finished it, and we haven't heard about it yet. Because if Retro Studios has taken 5 years to make a game, then they cancel a game and then take over Metroid Prime 4, I don't think Nintendo would feel comfortable about that. I think Retro Studios would have to demonstrate to Nintendo that they'd be capable of taking over Metroid Prime 4 when they care about it so much. Yeah. So I think their game is done, and we just don't know about it yet.
Wait, you think Metroid Prime is done and we don't know about it yet?
No. I'm saying that the game they were working on, the game that allowed them to start Metroid Prime 4 in the first place, is now done.
Yes.
And that's why they approached Nintendo with the demo. And
okay.
That's why Nintendo pressed
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant, but I wasn't.
That's what I meant. The good thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know when we'll find out about
4K. Let's hope it's in 4K, huh?
Someday. Yeah,
no. What you were saying before, Andre, about the potential of having the supplemental computing device.
Yeah.
Like they have these three. They have the 3 Switch systems right down the road, couple years down the road, and then they come and say like, oh, here's another device that you can buy that will play your play Metroid Prime in 4K. That kind of reminds me of like the 64 DD. For the
disc drive.
Yeah. Which never came to the States.
No.
Well,
there just wasn't a market for it here in the States, and plus the expansion pack that they made for the Nintendo 64 addressed a lot of memory issues. Yeah.
I just want to say that from what I've heard of a 4K dock, though, I feel like more realistically, at least by today's technology, I don't know what will be the case 3 years down the road, but at least by today's standards, it would probably be unrealistic to expect a dock to come out with a graphics card that would make the normal Switch capable of running games natively in 4K. Like, that might be a stretch, but maybe like 4K upscaling would still be nice. That'd be an improvement. So I just want to put that out there because I don't want people to have like false expectations that someday will make all your games at 4K. I feel like that's a stretch.
Yeah.
But, maybe there still could be a dock that improves graphics a couple of years down the road.
Well, ultra high definition televisions are much more affordable these days, and a lot of people, they play their games in 4K, so it makes sense to go in that direction.
Yes. Now, the other thing that could potentially affect this, we've heard the rumors about Microsoft bringing xCloud to the Switch, so that would signify streaming services. Now the Switch can't run it natively in 4K, but it can stream it at 4K.
Yes, they can. But there is an issue with that too, technically. Sorry, I'm sorry, but it's just the dock, right? It has there's no Ethernet port. You have to get a LAN adapter, and there's an issue with the LAN adapter. It's kind of a bottleneck. You can't actually get like 400 Mbps speeds.
Yes,
like
that's true. Yes, it because of the conversion that happens between the USB 3.0 and the Ethernet.
So they need a new dock that has an Ethernet port so they can really take advantage of like insane speeds. But at the same time, you actually don't need that much speed, at least for like online games.
Yeah.
I think you only need like 6 or 7, something like that, like to run Fortnite with like no lag.
I don't know.
I don't know how much it is for. Although I think I heard for Google Stadia that they just needed somewhere between 25, 35. And on my Switch right now, and I have really good Wi-Fi. We have like we have terabyte speed, so like it's like that's as fast as it gets.
Whoa.
Oh wow!
Who's your ISP? Sign me up for that.
Right, I'll take some too.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Me too, plus.
Some tell me. Fios Gateway. I think I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you guys on that. But
is it Google?
I don't think it's Google.
Google Fiber Optics or something.
No, I think you said Fios.
Fios. Yes. Yeah. I think I've heard of that before. I don't know.
But the area is a big thing. But like, you know, even though I have a terabyte speed, when I do a connection test, I get like, it ranges, but let's say for about 400, right, download speed, like 300 up speed, like
Yeah.
right, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Sounds
That's
good.
more than I'll ever need, right? Like
that. Oh man.
more than I'll ever need. I just want to clarify that
Yeah.
the stated minimum requirements or something for Google Stadia is like somewhere between, and I don't remember the numbers exactly, so like bear with me if I'm off by like 5, but I think it's like 25 to 35 Mbps. And when I do an internet connection test with my Switch, I get it in the low 30s, and so I think that's pretty much the peak of like the Wi-Fi connection with the Switch at this point, right? And just for perspective, I have friends who have like the LAN adapter, and I've done a connection test on their Switches when they're using the LAN adapter to connect to an Ethernet, and they only hit like 17. So I'm just on Wi-Fi, and because I just have good Wi-Fi, my connection speed is 2 times better even when they're wired.
Wow.
It's just that the LAN adapter is a bottleneck. What they need is a true Ethernet port on the dock, so they can get real good speeds.
Very nice.
So hopefully that Switch Pro comes with a dock that has an Ethernet port.
Yeah.
Or even on the Switch.
BIOS is a Verizon product, by the way.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Yep. Thank you. So, but I agree though that I think streaming is a way the Switch is probably going to run a lot of the xCloud games.
Oh.
Streaming services are definitely going to be the future of video games. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, at least they're the new trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
We'll
that's what we're going towards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just looking at the chat, yeah, I mean gigabit. Like my terminology with gigabit terabyte is terabyte
oh, okay.
hard drive gigabit. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go for that one. Yes. Okay. Well, that's good then. It's good that you got that figured out. Now, I also wanted to kind of touch on this Smash Bros. Some Smash Bros. News. So we got the Smash Bros. Ultimate at Famitsu's Game Awards. They won. Smash Bros. Ultimate won Game of the Year. So that's pretty cool. There were also a lot more Nintendo games that won as well. Where's my article? So we had even Octopath Traveler won some stuff. Won some awards. Dragon Quest Builders 2, Fortnite, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and the Kirby series. For some reason, the Kirby series. And then Sakurai even won MVP. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he did reconfirm that that Joker is coming, quote, very soon. So yes, Joker is on the way. I don't know if any of you guys are Persona fans, but I've been kind of like interested in the game. Like, I don't think I could handle playing it, to be honest, but but it's just been kind of like interesting to me, you know what I mean?
I've been interested in it. I'm waiting for the Switch announcement for Persona 5 because it's still $60 on PS4, so I've had no reason to buy it. If it was like $20, I would have already bought PS4. The moment Joker was announced, I was like, "Oh, what's Persona? I should probably play that game." But it's probably coming to Switch, and since it's still $60 on PS4, I might as well get it on Switch because it's gonna be portable.
Yeah, definitely.
Long RPG, the portability makes it a lot easier to play and get done.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Like, I'm not a big fan of RPGs, to be honest. Like, they're just too much grinding. They just take too long.
Yeah, that's true. And my college friends were like really, really into Persona, and when Joker got announced, my friend Edward actually bought me Persona 5 on PS4, but I
Oh,
still
that's
haven't even.
nice.
It's super nice. I have it. I still haven't unwrapped it though, so I owe it to him to play it. Like I have no excuses. I literally have it.
You're saving it for a rainy day.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That is
That's
so
what it
nice
is.
of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, I know. Super nice of him. Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, Kevin will finally be interested."
Yeah.
Because when a character's in Smash, you know, you start getting interested. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm not even super into like F-Zero or like that kind of racing genre. But I would.
It's the best.
Yeah, right. I would absolutely play a like a Captain Falcon game if he was like free roaming. You could like Falcon punch bad guys and stuff. That would be sick.
That's a signature move.
I think that'd be really
Epic.
cool, but I would be really upset if it wasn't traditional F-Zero.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I would think that if anything, what they would do is kind of like a you know, is it called Need for Speed, the game where they have the cops chasing the criminals? Or which,
Yeah, Most Wanted.
Yeah,
It's
Most
Need for
Wanted.
Speed Most.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. What if they did something where you're the bounty hunter or the criminal, and it can be like the same racetracks and that kind of style.
I'm okay if they. I see what you're saying. If
Yeah.
they do something like that for F-Zero, but you know, futuristic, like, and maybe you're the bounty hunter. Sometimes crime gets involved. I'm okay with that. And if
Yeah.
occasionally Captain Falcon comes out of the ship and you can do like some Falcon, I'm okay with that. I'm super down.
Andre,
For that. I just need the racing. The racing of F-Zero
Yeah.
has to be there.
Yeah.
yeah. Did you play F-Zero GX?
That's my
by
favorite
chance?
racing game of all time.
Wow.
They had a story mode. Yeah, they actually had
Yeah,
a story
it was
mode
great.
in F-Zero GX.
Oh, that's
As
awesome.
quirky and weird the story mode was.
Yeah,
It was actually enjoyable. I mean, some
That's
people might
amazing.
disagree with me on it, but it was funny.
Very
So,
cool. Very cool.
There's like character bios that I didn't even discover about the game till years later, and they're all like these super. There's so much like content like shoved into that game that you can't even find. Like it's like really deep in there. You have to beat some really hard stuff. That's the one problem with F-Zero GX, I guess. Not for me because I love the reward, but it was so hard that some people would never unlock like the additional tracks or even see the whole story mode, because even normal story mode is really hard.
Yeah.
Like-
I wouldn't.
Yeah. So it's
You're missing out.
yeah. So you know how a lot of people are like kind of like talking about like Sekiro right now and how it should have an easy difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't played Sekiro, but if it's anything like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, those games are easy compared to F-Zero. Like F-Zero.
Oh wow.
That's crazy.
You agree with me? Because you played F-Zero, right? Well, how do you? It's a different genres, but I felt like F-Zero was so hard.
It was really hard. Do you think so?
Yeah,
It wasn't that
for me
bad.
it was. For me, it was. Yeah. I still have calluses on my thumb from trying to snake in F-Zero all these years. Yeah.
Wait, really? I had no idea it was that.
It was-
I had
it
no
was
idea it was that hard.
GX is really challenging. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
It's still the
honest-
best racing game ever, though.
Did you get Fast RMX on the Switch?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think it holds up pretty well? Like similar?
I think it's a beautiful game, but it's nothing like F-Zero.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's so
Aw.
different. Like, I think a lot of people who don't play F-Zero will look at Fast RMX or other futuristic racing games and be like, hey, it's a futuristic racing game. It's the same thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nah,
But
you
if
gotta play
you never
F-Zero
played it, then
to
it's
really
like you
get it.
can't really.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Well,
For
they
sure.
need to bring it back.
I would compare it to, like... So, let's say Mario Odyssey, right, is... F-Zero GX is like the Mario Odyssey, but for racing games. Mario Odyssey is the king of platforms. F-Zero GX is like the king of like arcade racers.
Dang.
So like I would compare Fast RMX to like say like a Crash Bandicoot game. Like Crash Bandicoot's great, sure, but like
Oh, interesting.
it's not like, you know,
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
If I had to think of an analogy.
Yeah. That makes sense. That does make sense. What do you guys think about the Oh crap, I forgot what it's called. The Competition and Markets Authority in the UK, they were investigating the fairness of Switch Online. Like,
well, they're not just doing it on Switch Online; they're doing it to the other ones too.
Yeah, they're doing it to they're doing it to the other ones too. But I figured, this is a Nintendo podcast, so
Yeah.
I don't really know much about this. Could you guys explain it a bit better for me?
Yeah. So it's the UK's competition authority. The Competition and Markets Authority.
Okay.
So they've launched an investigation into the online subscription models, specifically Nintendo's auto renewal, cancellation, and refund policies. So they're trying to see if they're unfair.
Interesting. Switch Online is just so cheap.
Yeah.
So it's not so much the pricing; it's how it auto renews. Is that what they're sort of like looking into?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Huh.
So it's just kind of interesting. Like, so I don't know. Maybe Nintendo will have to change if they find out that it's unfair. If the CMA comes back and says this is unfair, like it is unfair, and
unfair,
like consumers are not being protected by our standards, at least in the UK. I guess Nintendo would have to either change how it auto renews or take away auto renewing altogether.
I wonder what that standard is. Like, what standard do they have to meet for it to be considered fair?
Yeah, I know. That's kind of up in the air.
Is the premise of auto renewing unfair? Is it how it's? Because I mean, let's say you don't get on the family plan, right? So what is it, like $20 a year?
Yes.
Yep.
If it's just by yourself.
Yeah.
So
$20.
So you get the free trial it's a week, which is so short.
Yeah.
But you set it up so once that week runs out, it automatically debits $20 from your bank account because you put in your bank card, and that's it. You're just on Nintendo's online, and then every year, that same time of year, whenever you started, it just pulls out 20 without even asking you. Maybe you just get an email receipt. Or maybe they'll even email you a week beforehand, hey, guess what? You're going to be set up to auto-renew. So just letting you know. I feel like that's probably what they do. It hasn't even been a year since Nintendo Online, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, obviously, either.
Do you guys think that's unfair, that they would just...
Well, I think and I'm not sure what the policies or the laws are in the UK, because I don't study UK law, but apparently somebody over there or some government over there feels that auto renewals are unfair and that people shouldn't even be allowed to elect to opt into that type of service, because it's easy for anyone to forget that, hey, I'm going to opt into this, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I'm opt into that? Oh, I didn't know. That must have been 5 years ago? And I think I think the government is thinking oh, we have to protect our citizens. The companies, they're going to take advantage of consumers, and they're going to sign them up for these auto renewals, and they're going to forget about it. And that's the only reason why I think that they probably are looking into this in the first place. Yeah. I mean, but that's a personal choice that us as individuals, us as consumers, we make. And honestly, I don't know why, governments in Europe feel that they need to, do all of the investigations and lawsuits that they do for these big companies, because, honestly, what's driving, these decisions by, the larger companies is the consumers. This is, we're telling us as consumers, we're telling everybody we're telling them what we want, and we buy into it, and they're like, okay, we're giving them what they want, and then the government comes in, it's like, oh no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then they find them billions and billions of dollars, and it's like, what?
So,
but I don't know. That's just how I see it.
Right. It's interesting. Because one, you know, I grew up in the United States. I do not. I barely understand law here. Right.
Yo, I feel you.
But just like thinking about it from what feels ethical, which doesn't always line up with law, right? I think it's okay because you are signing up for it. But maybe if anything, Nintendo can maybe change. And again, I don't even know how it's handled because it hasn't even been a year yet. But maybe a week before, not on your email, which not everyone checks. Bless you. What they do is that on your actual Switch system, they put a prompt it's like, hey, look, it's a week before your membership runs out. Do you want to stay on the program? You click yes to stay on the program. You can click no to not stay on the program. And it's just like something that you have to answer yes or no a week beforehand before you continue the game. And it's a simple check yes or no. And if I don't know if they do that, but I feel like that's a really simple fix if for whatever reason it's found that their renewal program is unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So.
And on the same time, what's that? There's another issue that has been going. Like I know so little about these things, but I know there was the hashtag Save Your Internet movement where they're like changed the laws around how like content creators can share content, right? Like can't like necessarily share content that was made by another company, like it's considered unfair, which would kind of go against like fair use.
Yeah, it definitely like Article 13.
And I don't know all the exact details of Article 13 and what its impact is going to be, but the way YouTube and Google have described it, in its current form, there are ways where, you know, the wrong people could take advantage of the system and take your content down.
Yeah,
you know, and it's that's not good. That's not good for anybody.
Yeah, I've heard from people who, you know, live in Europe that it's a bunch of old guys who don't understand the internet trying to
they need to go to the polls and they need to vote, I guess. I don't know, maybe they elected the wrong people.
Yeah,
I don't know how voting works there in the European Union.
I know.
Not that I want to get too political, but I just feel like it's kind of like an issue for most of the world right now because we're at a point where, you know, we're growing up in this informational age where we have constant access to social media and technology and information, but the people who are in office didn't. So there's this big divide between us and them.
Yes, yeah.
So it's creating a lot of issues. Like what they think, they don't really use technology the same way we do. So their understanding of what seems fair is completely different from what we think is fair because they don't even know what they're really getting into when it comes to the social media aspect of things, the technology aspect of things. So I think that's part of the issue that we're running into with a lot of these different countries and the changing of laws. But that's pretty much all I know when it comes to like politics and everything because I know very little about that. You know, I'll stick to Nintendo stuff.
Yeah. Good idea.
I hear you.
Let's have a free and open internet and don't touch Nintendo.
Nope.
Leave Nintendo alone.
Yeah, leave Nintendo alone. Exactly. Right there with you.
Yeah. Just, yep. Don't touch Nintendo.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's pretty careful about how they interact with other countries. Like there's so many things that they you know haven't done or have done to make sure they're in good standing with the public opinion and different things like that. Like I'm not too concerned about Nintendo getting in trouble. You know what I mean? I think this is technically rumor. It may be confirmed. I don't think it is, but the Mother 3 we mentioned it earlier. The Mother 3 localization didn't happen, right? But it was rumored for a while. And some of the speculation is that the reason why was because there's some, and I didn't play Mother 3, by the way. But so I don't remember exactly what it is, but I apparently there were some aspects of the story in Mother 3 involving some characters that I think could be misconstrued or construed intentionally as like transgender. I think, and I could be getting some details wrong, but basically something along those lines in terms of sexual identity with some of the characters that could have been considered offensive, and that may that's just that the speculation was that may have been one of the driving forces as to why they didn't localize the game in the States, because it could have created controversy that Nintendo didn't want.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
I'm sure someone in the comment in the chat will be like, no, it was actually this thing, but I I'm along the lines of what I said. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that causing controversy.
I mean, just for the record, I kind of made a prediction video like a couple days ago once the Best Buy leak happened, right, to kind of like fully get my thoughts out on what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be an April Nintendo Direct. Right? I think I've been saying this for a while. Like, I think all the signs have been pointing towards it for a while, even before the rumors. But like, one of the things I'm kind of hoping for, and this is I put it in my predictions videos, but it's more of a hope than a prediction. But if it is going to happen, this is kind of like the time for it to happen. If it doesn't happen now, I don't expect it like ever. But I'm hoping, because Reggie is leaving on the 15th, right?
Yes.
This is the final day, that there is a Nintendo Direct in the middle of this month, maybe next week, maybe the week after. And Reggie has a moment there where he announces a couple little things.
Yeah.
We're hoping.
One of those things could be Mother 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Finally.
Yeah. That's
Oh, man.
all I'm hoping. And maybe it's a Mother 3 localization. Maybe they changed it. Maybe it's like a Mother 3 remake or remaster where they kind of remix it a little bit so they don't have to, so they can get around maybe that controversy maybe. Or maybe that's a rumor and they don't actually care about it and the game will just come out as it is.
I'd be fine with that too.
For something Mother 3. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
That would be a good way to introduce Doug Bowser as COO of Nintendo, you know?
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could kind of pass the baton to him.
Yeah, just give him the heartache of having to deal with all the controversy with Mother 3.
There you go.
So Reg's like, oh, I didn't want to deal with this while I was president. Let's let Bowser deal with this now. Let's release Mother 3 and let's have him have the heartache and headaches of
and Doug Bowser's like, yep, let's do it. I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm young. I'm ready to go. Let's take this on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And how many memes did y'all see when the announcement video came out where people shared that one Nintendo Direct he did? He said, sorry guys, that's all the time I have. Now I'm gonna go play Animal Crossing New Leaf on my 3DS. That would be like the perfect sign off ever.
Oh my gosh. That would be so epic. I would love that.
Literally, that's what I'm predicting though. That he's gonna come on. There's gonna be an Animal Crossing tease, right? Animal Crossing tease. He's gonna show off Metroid Prime Trilogy and Mother 3 localization. Like that would be like the trifecta of promises. You know, like satisfied. That would be
amazing.
Oh my gosh,
everyone will
that would actually be so funny. He'll be like at the very end of the Direct, right? Reggie, you got Reggie. Well, that's all the time we've got today. I've got to get back to playing Animal Crossing on my Nintendo Switch, and then they show gameplay trailer.
That would be genius.
They give us the subtitle, and they're like, "Now you have to wait for the gameplay reveal at E3." But
gameplay reveal at E3. Yes,
that would be amazing.
Oh my gosh,
that would be an awesome segue though if they showed the gameplay footage.
And if that happens,
I'm excited just thinking about it, man.
If that's how they close out the show, then they have to open the show with Smash.
Yeah,
because the 3.0 update and Joker are kind of inevitable. I mean, maybe they do it with that without putting it in a Direct, but I feel like the 3.0 update is going to have a few new modes, so they might want to showcase that a bit in a Direct.
Yes. Yeah, because they're supposed to have like a sandbox or whatever mode, stage builder, something like that.
Yeah. There's a data mine that suggests a stage builder and home run contest.
Yes.
I hope that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy with that. I personally want Target Break, but you know,
that would be nice.
Probably get that along with a 4K dock 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, if they released Mother 3 for this, how long has it been since that game's been released? Mother 3. I mean, it was released in the 90s, probably, right?
Oh, geez,
no,
yeah.
I believe it was the early 2000. I think it was, I want to say 2006. It might be a little earlier, maybe.
Oh wow.
I think it came out on the Game Boy Advance. Let me double check. Let's fact check that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
Mother 3.
Mother
That's a
3,
long time to wait for that.
2006. Yeah,
game,
you're correct.
Yeah.
2006, man.
Wow. So 13 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Same time as the Wii.
Yeah.
There it is.
Better
again.
late than never.
Yeah.
Better
a few
late
months
than
before
never.
the Wii came out.
Yeah.
Wow. It's been a long time. What's interesting is that because the DS came out in 2000, was it holiday 2004?
The DS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty
So
sure.
this is a Game Boy Advance game, but this was actually made
after. That is interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And it's not even
Victor,
like, it's like a year and a half afterwards.
yeah,
Huh.
Victor actually brings up a good point. Mother 3 was supposed to be an N64 game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember in the Nintendo Power, and actually they were
it?
actually
Earthbound
talking about it.
64.
It was going to be Earthbound 64, exactly. Yeah.
And that
Oh,
was-
yes.
It wasn't going to be a 2D game. It was going to be a 3D
3D.
RPG.
Wow.
Yeah, which is why I would love it if there's like a Mother 3 like reimagining or Earthbound 2 or something that it's
Yeah.
like Mother 3 but retold a little bit in a 3D RPG environment.
Yeah.
But that's me like super dreaming, right? That's like
Oh, yeah.
it's literally a pipe dream. So, you know.
We'll take any version of Mother 3 they can give us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But man, it would be so cool if it happened.
I just heard. Hang on here.
What's going on?
I can't see the alert. Oh, no, I can see the alert. Dalahala. Hey, thank you, Dalahala. Thanks so much for that $1 donation, or that $1 tip. Thank you. Thank you for that. Anyway, sorry, oh shoot. Okay, anyway, so we also got the Best Buy leak. That's another talking point that we could
That put a smile on my
Talk
face. I actually
Hey.
it wasn't the last night, it was the night before, right? I think it was Tuesday night. I was on Twitter and I was like, wait, what? Metroid? I screamed.
Mhm.
I was like, yes, the dream is still alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I would really want actually that Metroid Prime trilogy. Oh my gosh. Who am I? Thank you. Thanks so much for that thanks so much for that $1 tip
Yay.
again. Who _am_I. There it is. Do you know yet? I think I've figured it out.
It's obviously Miyamoto.
But yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Miyamoto. For sure. Because PayPal definitely doesn't tell me who it is. Anyway, the Metroid Prime trilogy, I really, really want it to come out because I haven't played those games at all. So it would be really cool. Like, because of all the rumors, I don't want to like get it for the Wii and then play it on the Wii U. Like,
No.
because if it comes out for Switch, then I'll be really disappointed. So I'll be sad.
Yeah, I'm still holding off on playing
Yeah.
Skyward Sword.
Yeah,
Because I'm hoping they're going to get a
yes.
HD release for Skyward Sword on the Switch. But yeah, if they do Metroid Prime trilogy on the Switch, that'd be awesome. I would
So-
definitely go back and play it again.
Kazoo, I know you said you haven't played the Metroid Prime series yet, but James and Kevin, how about you
Mhm.
guys?
I did growing up on the GameCube. I never finished it though, but I'm planning on going back and finishing it. I have it on the Wii U when they sold them. Like, you could get all three, the
Yeah.
trilogy. Yeah, I have that. But haven't gone through it. And I think just the convenience, like I'm so used to 2 sticks, or even Splatoon kind of gyro controls with the sticks also. I hope they do that, and I'm sure they will.
It has to. Yeah.
It would have to, because it would make sense.
It'll feel so much better to me than, you know, Wiimote and Nunchuck. Or have y'all even like years later gone back and tried it on the GameCube? The controls do not hold up well at all.
Well, I haven't. I don't have a GameCube anymore. I need to go back and get a GameCube. But I did. I am playing. I have been running Metroid Prime on Dolphin, so I've been playing with the GameCube.
Oh, really?
Recently, just and kind of re-remembering how the game played back then, and also the Prime trilogy. So I've played it in both ways recently, and I do want to kind of play more, like, say, for example, Doom on the Switch, right? Which is first-person controls, and it has the gyro aiming, or like Splatoon, but Splatoon's in third person. But you know, same difference.
Yeah.
I think that's the way of the future for Metroid because of, you know, dual analog controls. But it would be nice to see if Prime Trilogy, it could theoretically have all 3 ways, right? Because the first ways, you know, there's enough controls on the Pro Controller or the Joy-Cons to mimic the GameCube controls. And then because of the Joy-Cons and the motion controls, they could definitely mimic the Wii motion controls, right? But the default should definitely be twin sticks for sure.
Gotcha.
Oh my gosh.
Glad to support you.
They keep donating, huh?
Oh man.
What does that say? Glad to support. Oh, who am I? Thank you. Who am I? Let's hashtag who am I in the chat. Who underscore am underscore I. Thank you so much. Who am I? You are too kind.
We're almost approaching that 2-hour mark, so keep getting those questions ready, guys.
Yes. Let's see. I don't think that we've
taken down any.
Yeah. Which I like. I don't know. I think I need to. I need to designate someone to do that because I can't.
Oh, there's an interesting question that I see from Victor. I don't know if we want to take the question.
Oh, yeah. We covered the topics pretty darn well.
Yeah, we totally did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Was I supposed to be taking down questions? I mean, maybe we'll designate you for that if you can do that next time, Fiery F, if possible.
Thanks, Fiery F. That would be awesome.
Yes, that would be awesome. Elite Gamer 335 asks on Twitch. He asks, "What do you think of Yoshi's Crafted World?"
Nice.
I don't have it yet. I haven't played. I played the demo. I like it. I know Kevin and James have it. I don't know about you, Andre, but
I haven't bought it yet. I'm not sure I will because it's just a little bit too easy for me.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean,
my gosh!
Not pretentious. Just kind of like I just think I might save my money for
pro gamer over here.
MK8DT.
I like it when games make me suffer.
True.
Whoa!
Like
It's relaxing.
Tropical Freeze.
That is a hard game. If you think about it, if you want to collect everything in that game,
it's
if you're like it is.
Yeah. But when I played the demo though, I thought it was really charming, right? So like if I see Yoshi like at a discount like a year from now or something, I might pick it up. It is really imaginative and the world is very fun to interact with.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking it so far. I was telling Kazoo about it that for my April Fool's thing every year, I always do something like that. It's kind of a joke, but it's also kind of not. And last year, what I did was I said, "Okay, everyone, I'm moving to mixer.com for my streams.
Oh.
And yeah, and people were like, no way, he's not gonna do it. But
Yeah.
the reason it was kind of a joke is that, okay, no, now that's when I really started using Restream, and I was doing YouTube and Twitch and Mixer.
Oh,
but I was kind of
nice.
telling the truth. Yeah, and then this time I was like, you know what? I want to do a Yoshi video, but something that people would be like, Kevin would never do something so evil as this. So I did a genocide run of Yoshi. But I really put a lot of effort into it, and I was hoping it would do really well, and like people would enjoy it. And the thing is, like, I don't count like views as the thing that does well, because lately what's more important is watch time, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I go in, and you know what? I noticed that people watched for the first like minute and they left, and there's 9 more minutes of gameplay. So it's like, well, they just weren't interested, my viewers. And it was gonna be kind of a joke, because I was gonna keep it going if it did well, but they didn't enjoy it. So you know,
maybe they just didn't appreciate genocide.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Chalk it up as a good thing. It's like nobody likes genocide. There you go.
That's good. Yes, that is good.
It is a good thing.
Now, however, I don't know if maybe people might not have watched because of spoilers. Like,
oh, that's
true.
Good
point.
Yeah,
another good point. Too. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I've just I've heard that Let's Plays in general just don't do as well as they used to.
They don't.
Yeah,
no,
I heard that too.
Point.
Yeah.
And see, and to my point, I was like, well, I'm not just gonna do Let's Play Yoshi episode 1. I was like, I'm gonna do something crazy.
Something creative.
We're gonna kill literally everything.
Everything.
See, I totally get what you're saying though, and like I used to do that a lot. And to be fair, my very first video that ever did even more than 100 views was a Binding of Isaac Let's Play, because it was the day it came out for the Switch, and people were like, they were like, whoa, how does it run on the Switch?
Yeah.
And so that one did well, right? But yeah, nowadays Let's Plays, it's unfortunately, right, streams are the better thing to do than Let's Plays, because people want to watch you play it, but they want to interact
with you in real time. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. And then the alternate thing that YouTube Gaming is saying now is, what are those videos you can make that tell a story? What are those videos that make an argument, a prediction, a bold statement that people are going to fight against? Say, no, you're full of poop. Or, wow, this person's maybe a little crazy, but they're onto something. And that's how that's what YouTube rewards nowadays.
YouTube wants anymore. That now. They want those engagements.
Those are the kind of videos I just like making.
Good.
Yeah. What did you say, Andre?
I just like making those kind of videos. I like making videos where like I'm asking a question. I'm like, okay, this is what I think is gonna happen. I might be crazy, but I have all these reasons why I believe it.
Yeah. Well.
Hey, but that's good. Yeah.
More power to you. Like. You know?
Put those skills you learned in college communications class when you're writing those papers and build a script for a video, guys. Yeah. I mean, those of you that are watching right now that are aspiring to be YouTube content creators, you know, that's a great start. And then along the way, you know, you learn all the other skills like editing videos, you know, putting a video together, working on, you know, getting the sound where you want it, and then, you know, putting your voiceover with your script. You know, it's not as hard as you think. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like a pro kind of.
It helps keep the video like concise too, so you stay on topic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, then you don't have to do so much post, so that's good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, DJ Pob asks on Twitch, Yoshi genocide run in a Yoshi game?
No, it was like the enemies, like, and see, that's what Kazoo thought too, right? At first, or no. One of my viewers was like, killing Yoshis? No, it's Yoshi killing all the other enemies.
Yoshi killing everything else.
Still, it doesn't. See, and I thought it would be that crazy that people would be like, really? Let me see what it's all about. And maybe that got them to click, but it's still a Let's Play at the end of the day. And, you know, totally.
That's true. Unfortunately,
That would be really stupid. Like I'm just sitting there killing off Yoshi like one color at a time because you can pick your color.
oh,
That'd be dumb.
Wow.
that would be funny though.
I'll say
that would
that
be funny.
when I played Yoshi with a demo, I felt bad killing the Shy Guys.
Oh,
I know. It's like
Well, they're so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out, you know. They're just
Yeah,
walking, you know?
They're just
not
hanging
really-
out. They're just
They're
like
not
cute
even
little
attacking.
guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're just holding kites and butterflies, and you're just like, die, you smacking them.
I know. Or
Yup.
let me eat you and use your remains to kill your brother or sister.
Oh my gosh.
It's
And
so
then-
dark.
Yeah,
That
I
is
know.
awful.
It is.
Kevin, you were on to something the whole time and nobody realized it.
Yeah, I uncovered the dark truth. That would be a good video. The dark truth of Yoshi's Island or Yoshi, whatever the game, the Crafted Island or Crafted World. What is it called? Crafted World. The dark, right? Like people would be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. You go for it. I'm done with Yoshi for now.
You could, Kevin. You could.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
You're not
I'm
into
done for
it.
now.
Not into it anymore.
Not for now. I got rubbed the wrong way because it feels so personal when people, because you can see the watch time and it does that dip and it's like choo. Like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
Now Mason says how you guys think 2 Zelda games remake this year, Link's Awakening and Link to the Past on Nintendo Switch would be possible. Now I don't see them doing that. I don't see them remaking two I don't see them remaking 2 Zelda games in the same 2D Zelda games in the same year.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I'm holding all that leaks about the Metroid Prime trilogy and Persona 5 with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they added the whole Link to the Past thing in there, and I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, it sounds good, but at the same time, it's like, a Link to the Past?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
kind of
know.
weird.
It
might not quite make sense. Although, you know, now that I'm thinking about it more, it's like, well, maybe, possibly, because if we think about the Switch Mini is coming out, right? Possibly rumored.
Yeah.
That Link to the Past.
I'm gonna say confirmed.
I guess Link to the Past. Actually, no. Link to the Past was.
I'm at 99.9% certainty of Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. The Best Buy leaks, I feel confident in them, but it's not just because it's the Best Buy leaks. It's like a combination of things. The Best Buy leak to me is like the cementing of it for me, but you know. So do you guys know who King Zell is?
Mm-mm.
Who?
So King Zell.
King Zell. I don't think so.
So he changed his name recently. I don't know the name. It's like some weird Japanese name that I can't remember. But before he changed his name, King Zell, and he's on Reset Era, right? He's a quote unquote leaker. He has a very good track record though. So what happened? What was interesting is before the February Nintendo Direct, everyone was like wondering when are we gonna get Nintendo Direct? When are we gonna get Nintendo Direct? And he said 13. The number 13 is your lucky day. February 13th got Nintendo Direct, which was on a Wednesday, which I would say is a pretty good prediction because normally we get Directs on Thursdays.
Yes.
Wednesday was an interesting guess. But also, he said we would be getting a Box Boy game, a 2D Zelda game, a Mario Maker 2 game, a Pikmin 3 port, and Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Nice.
He was 60% right. And I don't know how in the world you could have predicted Box Boy because apparently that series is supposed to be done. So from my perspective, and this is just the most recent things he's talked about that have come true, right? He has a track record of getting these things right. My understanding is that he actually has inside information.
Nice.
So I believe I believe him. I think Pikmin 3 and Metroid Prime Trilogy are in the works. However, I wasn't super confident with Metroid Prime 3 because I thought maybe they held it back because of Metroid Prime 4 getting delayed. Maybe they changed the plans and they took it out of this year.
Yeah.
But there have been several people saying that it's supposed to come out in the first half of 2019. We've heard it come up several times. So considering all of that, right, and considering that kind of just makes logical sense to have a Metroid game come out this year after the blowback of losing Metroid.
It does. Yeah, it might kind of soften the blow. But then at the same time, you might think that they would want to
keep them
space it out.
together.
Yeah.
But we're also getting a 2D Metroid. We have reason to believe there's a 2D Metroid in development as well. So like, I have to wonder like how much spacing out do they really need? And obviously it comes down to what Nintendo thinks is best. But when I saw the Best Buy leak, I was like, okay.
Hey, Dumo's rating.
Guys,
Whoa,
yes,
Dumo
yes.
raid.
I was gonna wait till Andre finished talking, but yes.
Woo!
And when Dumo gets here, but yes, thank you Dumo for the raid. We will I guess we'll talk to him when he gets here. Oh Kevin, where did your camera go?
Oh, did it? Oh gosh, it troubled again. Yeah.
Oh, it got dead. Oh,
it re-dead from Zelda. There we go. It'll. Yeah.
There it is. Yes, re-dead.
There we go. Perfect.
Oh yes. Okay. Oh, good.
Nice.
There you go. Awesome. All right. So, sorry, Andre. What were you saying? There he is, Dumo. Dumo! Thank you so much for the raid, my friend. Yes, thank you so much for the raid, Dumo. Thanks so much for sending all your viewers over here, over to the KazooCast. Trainer Price, hello. Welcome to the stream. We got Trainer Price, Vithalax, and Mega Ultra Chicken Hunts. Guys, welcome. And then Dumo, of course.
Welcome, my friends.
Fiery F the bot's not on, so the shout-out's not going to work. But yeah. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Feel free to ask us any questions you have about Nintendo stuff. And yeah. So anyway, sorry, Andre, what were you saying?
Just that, like, with the Best Buy leak, from what I've heard, it's like different employees have gone at different Best Buys. They've gone and checked. It's all within the system. So this is something that's come from the higher up, right? And occasionally those mistakes do happen. But like for example, last year we had the whole Walmart Canada E3 leak. So there's precedence for these retail lists to be true. And typically, I've heard that at least when it comes to Best Buy, apparently when they put these listings up, it's usually because they're like a week or two away. So for me, I'm not as confident about the Best Buy leak as like the Switch revisions, right? But
yes,
when I piece together the history of these different credible leakers, right, and the supposed Nintendo Direct, because historically speaking, there's always 2 directs before an E3, right? And actually, if you go to like Nintendo's like Direct website and you look at every year, when there's a February Nintendo Direct, we have one in April, right? When there's a January Nintendo Direct, in March. So we had one in February, so it makes us have one in April. And on top of that, there currently are no published games announced to come out for the Switch in the month of May. Yet this year is so packed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But another thing I did, I went ahead and I looked at like the trends for like amount of published games coming out for the different Nintendo platforms, and it's been going, for the Switch, it's been going up every year, and it's been going down for the 3DS. Considering there are currently only 3 published games coming out for 3DS this year at this point, and I don't think there's any more going to be announced, we probably should get close to about 20 for the Switch, at least if we go based off the trend, right? Assuming the trend is true. Mm-hmm. So there's still a few more announcements Nintendo needs to make. I mean, we're only in the beginning of April, so you would have to think there would be. So because of that, the open May slot, the entire leak history, the fact that Metroid Prime 4 is delayed and there needs to be something, and this open May slot, and it makes sense for there to be a Direct soon, and that Best Buy normally has retail listings about a week or 2 before these games are usually announced, and on top of the fact that there is the listing itself, I'm on the train of thought that Metroid Prime Trilogy and Persona are pretty much almost assuredly going to happen. Like, it's not like 99, but it's like 75-ish%.
That's
like,
pretty good.
Yeah. You know, I could definitely. get
So,
get behind that.
so you think there'll be a Nintendo Direct this month, and then we're gonna see a Metroid Prime and a Persona 5 release next month, right?
That's my prediction. I hope
Yeah.
I'm right. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I hope so too.
We'll
Yeah,
see. We can come back to this upload and see. Yeah.
yeah. And like, he was right. He was right.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to say. That's what I want to say next month.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Dumo asks, is there anything that could fall into May that doesn't have a date?
Metroid
Like
Prime.
announced but no date. So, what about Daemon X Machina? Is that
It's not coming out till later.
okay?
Yeah, much later this year. Yeah, much
Okay.
later.
All of the games that are announced are pretty much confirmed to come out after May. I'll have to go back and look at all the listings, but like Fire Emblem is, I believe, June. Daemon X Machina is set to late summer.
Oh, Fire Emblem's July because it comes out.
Yeah, July, not June.
Kazoo's birthday.
He's a month, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Mario Maker 2's in June.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The actual change is end of August. I guess theoretically, Link's Awakening doesn't have a date yet, but I have a hard time believing that's going to come out in May, because if they announced it, I feel like if Link's Awakening was coming out in May, and if they already announced it, they probably would have said it's coming out earlier, you know?
Yeah.
It's not impossible though. They could be like, hey, it's coming out this month, because actually we didn't know about Labo VR until like just a few, like it was announced like basically about a month before it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Theoretically, we could get a Nintendo announcement sometime this month, and it could still happen in May. My hope is there's Metroid Prime Trilogy, which would coincide with the rumors that said Metroid Prime Trilogy is supposed to come out in the first half of 2019. Considering that Mario Maker is already coming out in June, and there's an open slot for May, if the rumor's true, Metroid Prime Trilogy would make sense in May. Will it happen?
I
don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for.
Prediction.
Yeah.
Yep.
It would make sense.
Yeah, and it's at the end of the day, it's just is it even, we don't even know if it's a full-on remake, right? Like, it's not like a full-on new game. It's basically, probably just Metroid Prime Trilogy enhanced a little bit in HD with some updated controls.
Yeah.
It's nothing like, in terms of development effort, it probably didn't even take a year to fully make, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that. We never know. What if they show it off and it's like completely, I doubt it, but we don't, I would assume that it's the basic sort of Nintendo remake, which is usually pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last year they had Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu in November.
Yeah,
I'm thinking they're going to do the same with Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, and then in December they had Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. So maybe Link's Awakening will be a December release. That's what I feel is going to happen.
I would honestly think that Link's Awakening would be a holiday. It feels like a holiday title to me.
But, yeah. So here's the thing, though. We got Animal Crossing, right?
Yes, that is true. That is true. And Animal Crossing, I actually talked about this in a podcast before. Animal Crossing is historically a winter release.
Oh, okay. Okay, Kazoo.
Yeah.
Yes, because I went and let me see if I can pull up my notes from that podcast.
Nice.
You got so excited when you mentioned Animal Crossing there. I just want to point that out.
I am
She was waiting for that one.
She was.
Frick, man, Animal Crossing is my jam. Animal Crossing is my jam. Yeah. Sorry, I have to remember which KazooCast that was, because it was a couple KazooCasts ago.
I want to see all of them. I know some of them have come out holiday time, but I want to see like the history of them all. Like, so I'm looking up the very first Animal Crossing apparently came out April 14, 2001, but wasn't it originally like on the N64 as well?
Which region are you looking for?
Right, that? That's where it gets super confusing.
No, because here was my.
Sorry, Japan normally gets the Animal Crossing release before America does.
Yep, and
that's what we've seen historically.
Yes, that is my
I got a list.
My train of thought. Wait, hold on. So my train of thought with this was now, for Animal Crossing, hold on. I think this is where it was. Yes, okay. So here, I found it. So I picked all the Japanese release dates for Animal Crossing, because my train of thought, my train of thought would be that, I don't think they've been doing it with the Switch, for, okay, so obviously they released the Japanese, or the Animal Crossing games released earlier in Japan because of localization, but I don't think they've been doing that with the Switch, because it's region free, so they won't have that buffer of time between the Japanese and English. So Animal Crossing on the GameCube released December 2001. Wild World released November 2005. City Folk November 2008, and then New Leaf October 2012. So so it's like a fall,
late fall,
early winter.
Okay, go ahead, Andre, and then I'll have something.
I was just agreeing with Kazoo that most of them are calling them Japanese versions are all holiday. Pretty much.
Now, to follow up with what Kazoo said, when Animal Crossing New Leaf was released, we did see it released in Japan in November of 2012. However, the localization team here in Nintendo of America's localization team, they needed more time, so they followed up with the American version release in spring of 2013. So there is usually, that localization.
Exactly. So they
the
don't
translation.
That buffer.
They'll have to translate it. Yeah, they'll have to translate everything in the game so that it's marketed, or so that it's able to be sold here in the States.
Right.
Or in this region. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll say that as we've progressed close more and more to the future, though, localization windows have gone smaller and smaller. Like with Pokemon, there aren't any localization windows anymore.
Yeah.
I think it started with X and Y where they had a worldwide release. I could be wrong. But I wouldn't be surprised if Animal Crossing releases worldwide at the same time. It wouldn't shock me.
That would be great. And that would also be unprecedented because, because historically with all the prior releases, that would set a new precedent.
Game. So I guess it's more of an issue of localization because there's so much text to localize, though. So that is something to consider. But just there's a lot of games, right? Like there's Animal Crossing, right? Which you said seems likely to be closer to a holiday release, right? Based off the history. But there's also Luigi's Mansion, and Link's Awakening, and Pokemon, and Astral Chain, which is a Nintendo published game. And Nintendo's also publishing Dragon Quest XI's as well. And then there's Fire Emblem, and then there's Mario Maker 2. And
oh my gosh.
We may get a Metroid Prime trilogy announcement. I feel like if it's happening, I think May is the best time for that because the second half of the year is packed.
On top of all these releases, you've got the possibility of 2 different Switches coming out later this year. And they're gonna need to market to people, hey, buy a Switch Mini or buy a Switch Pro, and here are all the games that we're releasing. So they've got to sell those consoles. How are you gonna sell those consoles? Yes, you release games.
The games.
You release the games, and you make them marketable to as many consumers as possible.
Absolutely.
And then that's how you get them to buy the consoles.
Are any of you guys fans of Monster Hunter?
Dumo, oh man, if only Dumo was on the podcast tonight. Dumo loves Monster Hunter. Dumo just did a Monster Hunter stream.
Yeah. Dumo, you gonna come in on this, man?
Yeah, Kazoo, would you mind that if I tagged out and Dumo tagged in for me?
Do you have to tag out?
Well, I'm just getting real tired. Anytime we go, like I don't even stream longer than 2 hours. That's always like, okay, guys, it's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just sitting still for like I have like ADD and stuff, and
Oh,
I don't know. So yeah, but I mean, I think it would be a good chance for him to come in, and he was like,
Yes.
I don't want to impose, and
That is,
you know,
yes.
so. Yeah. So I mean,
Although I
think
know
it's
that
just like when we keep doing the same topics over and over again. I'm like, I've said all that I can already. Anyway, and having Dumo come in would be a new, like a breath of the wild, no, breath of fresh air. You know,
Yes.
maybe.
No, yeah,
I don't think he's.
I hear you. I just I was thinking we might end here pretty soon anyway, about 8:30.
Okay.
About 8:30. You know, Pacific. So in like
no
8
problem.
minutes.
So in about 8
Okay
minutes.
then. Okay, I'll tough it out, dog.
8 more minutes. You can do it.
You can
do
do
it.
it, Kevin.
All right. Well, we'll call it a lightning round then.
Yeah, lightning round.
That's good.
We
Yeah.
have.
Earlier,
If
I
we-
want to address it. It was a while ago.
What?
I saw a question from Victor Masi a while ago.
Yes.
Could I address it? It's about Metroid.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
So I don't know if
Go
he's
right ahead.
still on. But Victor Masi said this: how would you play Metroid Prime 3 in handheld mode, though? They would have to completely remake that game. So I thought about this the other day. My opinion, right, is just that, well, one, because of the Joy-Cons, they can literally map the Wii motion controls, right? But
Yeah.
like you were saying, Kevin, like I feel like the default would be dual analog, right?
Yeah.
So they would probably have to find a way to make it work with that too, because they can't just have just Metroid Prime 3 be motion controls and the other two not. I mean, they
True.
could. I feel like that'd be kind of cheap. I don't think Nintendo would do that. So I feel like, one, you could maybe use the gyro controls to maybe sort of mimic that with the Pro Controller, maybe.
Yeah.
One other way, I feel like it's not too much of a stretch to map most of the motion controls to an analog stick, because most of, like, at least with like the hand turning sequences,
Yeah.
they are just, you're stationary, you just rotate. And when you're doing there's parts where you zoom in and you like weld certain like circuits. That's also stationary. You zoom in. You could use that with an analog stick. I think the only that might be a problem is the and this is, I haven't played Metroid Prime 3 in years, so I might be missing something. So correct me if you miss anything else.
The grapple or
the grapple when you latch
the
on.
nunchuck.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like you could just map that to like a clickable stick, maybe. Like maybe it wouldn't feel as satisfying, but you could map it to a button if you had to. The Switch has way more buttons than the Wii and the GameCube, so it's doable. And I don't think the workaround would be too intense.
Andre, you know what I think?
Yeah.
I think because you know that Retro Studios had access to a dev kit, man.
Yeah.
They probably just took all their Metroid Prime assets,
Oh yeah.
mapped controls, or did something with those
That makes
Wiimotes,
sense.
with those Joy-Cons, and like, well, what if we used them like? What if we use these like the Wiimotes, like the nunchuck and the Wiimotes? And they probably tried it out.
Yeah,
That's
I'm sure
probably
they
what
did.
impressed. That's probably what impressed Nintendo to decide,
Yeah.
hey, we need to restart development on Metroid Prime 4. Retro Studios, you're back in.
Could
Get back in.
be.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? That's
Maybe.
they probably had an epiphany or something. I don't know.
I know.
You know, they have access to a Nintendo Switch dev kit.
If you want to
They
get,
probably did it.
they definitely. I mean, they've been working on some sort of Switch game for a while. I mean, the last full-on major game they released was Tropical Freeze in 2014, early 2014. It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
I want to say that there were all these theories that they were working on some sort of big, intense game. It'd be cool to see if they create some sort of incredible like physics engine like they did with Breath of the Wild, but for Metroid. And then they did that with the motion controls, and they used some of their old Metroid assets, made it HD-ish, and they showed Nintendo, and they're like, oh my god, this could be groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And they scrapped the other one. Yeah, that'd be cool to see.
Wow.
We need to break into retro. We need to go to Austin, Texas, break in and find that demo.
Oh, is that where they're located? Austin?
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right
Careful,
over
the
by you,
Nintendo-
Kevin.
The Nintendo Ninjas might get you.
I know. For knowing that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, not too far from me.
So Andre Duma was asking you why you were bringing up
Monster Hunter.
Oh, good. I'm glad you brought us back to that.
Nice.
Just because I think we're close to the time, in terms of, I think we're close to a Monster Hunter Switch announcement, like an actual.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Right, like because we were talking about games that were coming out this year.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter might. I mean, if it's not this year, it's next year for sure. Like, I think we're really close to a Monster Hunter Switch game. Right, we didn't get Monster Hunter World ported. We just got the 3DS games ported with HD textures. I think it's time that we get a legitimate, localized, ground-up Monster Hunter game. If it's not this year, it's next year. I wouldn't be surprised if we at least get an announcement. If not by E3, maybe Tokyo Game Show. I think that's in September. Yeah. So, just to throw out another potential game that we might see for Switch in the not-so-distant future, which I love Monster Hunter, so,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that would really be quite interesting. It's we really have a lot to look forward to this year when it comes to Nintendo. We got all the leaks about games. We got the Switch Mini and Pro rumors. We got all of these rumors, guys. Like
so much.
There's a ton of stuff going on, but so that, I think that's gonna about do it for this week's KazooCast. We also got the Zelda Breath of the Wild VR, which is so exciting.
It's gonna be so nice.
Oh my gosh, I am
can't wait.
So excited for that. It's gonna be insane.
It'd be hilarious if we throw out all the cardboard and just jump into Zelda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hype is so real, you guys. But anyways, I think that's gonna about do it for this KazooCast this week. So thank you guys so much for joining me, Kevin, James, and Andre. Please tell everyone where they can find you. Kevin, tell them where they can find you.
Well, if you just click wherever you're watching, if you're on DLive or Twitter or whatever, I'm on those platforms. Mostly been focusing on making YouTube videos. So just youtube.com/Kevintendo. And yeah, thanks again for having me, YellowKazoo. It was great being here once again.
Yes, I'm so glad you could. Wait. I'm so glad you could join us, Kevin. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, James, what about you? Where are you?
You guys can just YouTube search me on YouTube, James Clark, Super Live James Clark on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter at Super Live Gaming, and on Discord. If you guys want to join our Discord, just come by my YouTube channel. We have links to our Discord and our Twitter there, and also Tumblr if you guys fancy that.
Ooh.
So yeah.
All right, thanks for being here, James. One of our regulars.
Thank you for having me.
Glad
it was awesome. Thank you.
And then Andre, our new guest for this week. Woohoo! Yes, our new guest for this week. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Sure, yeah, and thanks for having me. I've had a great time. I'm on AndresRestart. You could just call me Andre. Like, you look at the title, AndresRestart. If you take that, search it on YouTube, you'll find my channel. If you're into Nintendo gaming news and theories and speculation and discussions, you're gonna get that there. So, yeah. That's it. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's good.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Thanks everyone, all the viewers in the chat for joining us tonight. While we talked about all the fun Nintendo news and everything. Yeah. So, make sure you subscribe to the YellowKazoo channel also if you haven't. We stream just about every day. We stream about 5 times a week on the channel, so
that's good.
Yeah, and don't forget to hit the like button before you head out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll see you. We have another KazooCast 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from tonight. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see everyone later. Bye. Bye. Wave
Bye-bye.
goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
I'm waving.
Bye.
Hello.